comedy movie like in which the Babu Rao is there. Okay, like Hera Fairy and so many movies. So yeah, I like the character of Babu Rao.
Yes, that is the one of the hilarious movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you watch that movie, then
Mm-hmm.
you never get bored, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yes, always you feel so enthusiastic whenever sit uh,
Mm-hmm.
for watching that movie. Every time, like it makes you so happy, and
Mm-hmm.
like you couldn't stop yourself to laugh, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody, like you can enjoy that movie with your family, right?
Mm-hmm.
With your
Right.
children. So that is the very good part of the the character. They three were very comedy like
Mm-hmm.
like Babu Rao and
Mm-hmm.
that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. But nowadays, these kind of movies are not launching, I would say, because nowadays, I mean, movies are good. I mean, not that much good like they used to make it in previous year. But nowadays, you can't watch movies with your parents most of the time. I mean, most of the movies are made like in that way. You can't watch with your parents, with your whole family.
Good afternoon.
Very good afternoon, ma'am.
How are you doing so far?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. What about you?
Yes, I'm doing also very good. And
Hmm?
thanks for asking. What about you?
Okay, so as we are meeting for the first time, so I really want to know about you. So can you introduce yourself first?
Yes, sure.
Mhm.
So this is Shweta here, and I am connecting to you from Delhi. I'm a homemaker, mother of
Mm,
two children, and I
okay.
hold a BCom BA degree, right?
Mhm.
And moreover, I love to connect with the people because I am an enthusiastic English learner. That's the
Okay,
lesson
I'm
for me.
glad to know about you.
Yes.
Okay, can I introduce myself?
Yes, I love to know about you.
Okay, so ma'am, I'm Neha, as you can see on the screen, and I'm connecting you from Jharkhand. Recently, I completed my graduation in English literature, and right now I'm learning this language to improve my communication skills and as well as to, to do the preparation for the interviews. So yeah, this is a small introduction by my side.
Yeah, good to know about you. And you are doing well because on the one hand, you are going to improve your communication skills, and on the other hand, you are preparing for your interview, right?
Right.
Nice. So, how long have you been learning this language?
Okay, so I have been learning this language from since past 1 year, and if I talk about these kind of conversation with a real person, so I started 3 months back.
Nice. So, every single day, do you practice?
Yeah, I try my best to be consistent, and hopefully I am consistent till yet.
Right, right. Okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple of couple of questions for you. So,
Okay.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
like, would you like to give this and give the insights?
Yeah, sure. Why not? You can ask, and I will. I am excited to answer your questions.
Okay, so my first question is like
Mm-hmm.
who makes you laugh the most?
I think it's a very interesting question, and this is the very first time like somebody asked this kind of question. So I think my sibling. Because he makes faces, he mimicry, do mimicry of everything what she usually saw in social media, like any memes. So yeah, she makes me laugh.
Oh, very nice. Yes. And you know what makes me laugh most?
Yeah.
So yes, when I watch some comedy movie, then
Mm-hmm.
I find hilarious, and that
Mm-hmm.
makes me laugh most. And yes, because when someone mimics like birds and animals' voice, so it's
Mm-hmm.
also makes you laugh, right?
Mm-hmm.
And especially when when you watch some comedy movie and there are some special character like
Mm-hmm.
I think you have seen Three Idiots, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. In that movie there is a character uh,
Mm-hmm.
virus played by Irani, right?
Okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
that characters made me laugh and
Mm-hmm.
whenever I try to recall that scene, so
Mm-hmm.
like yeah, and I can't stop my laugh, and I start laughing
Mm-hmm.
even if I am alone. And
Okay.
yes, and
So it
also
means you love to watch comedy movies.
yes, right, right,
Mm-hmm.
because it makes me lots of happiness, and
Mm-hmm.
you never feel like overwhelmed while you are
Mm-hmm.
watching this kind of memory, and it's a kind of exercise. You are
Mm-hmm.
exercising your mouth muscles and your right.
Mhm.
It's a very for it make me jubilant. So
Mhm.
whenever you sometimes you had bad time at your life, right?
Mhm.
Then just I watch that kind of movie, so that makes me happy, and I feel like I don't feel bad. So
Mhm.
that's yes. And
Uh,
also I think you would be remembered
mhm.
whenever you sit with your siblings or like
Mhm.
your friends, right? And if you if you remember some memory, like funny memory, from your childhood, so
Mhm.
that also makes you laugh when
Yeah.
they narrate the story, any funny story, and then
Mhm.
that make that time you feel nostalgia, and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
makes your back days, right? And
Mhm.
you feel, oh my God, what was the time? So yeah, that was very special moment for
Mhm.
your whole life, right?
Yeah. I mean, like you mentioned one of the movies, like what do you say? That Three Idiots. I mean, this movie was not just funny but very interesting, mm, and the moral of that movie is very genuine, I would say. And yeah, I also like comedy movies, but nowadays I am not a huge fan of movies. But yeah, like how I say, occasionally I sometime I watch. And but I like the comedy movie, like in which the Babu Rao is there, okay, like Hera Fairy and so many movies. So yeah, I like the character of Babu Rao.
Yes, that is the one of the hilarious movie, right?
Mhm.
And whenever you watch that movie, then
Mhm.
you never get bored, right?
Exactly.
Yes,
Mhm.
always you feel so enthusiastic whenever sit uh,
Mhm.
for watching that movie.
Mhm.
Every time like it makes you so happy, and
Mhm.
like you couldn't stop yourself to laugh, and
Mhm.
everybody like you can enjoy that movie with your family, right, with
Mhm.
your
Right.
children. So that is the
Mm.
very good part of the character. They three were very comedy like like
Mhm.
Babu Rao and
Mhm.
that one.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. But nowadays, these kind of movies are not launching, I would say, because nowadays, I mean, movies are good. I mean, not that much good like they used to make it in previous year. But nowadays, you can't watch movies with your parents most of the time. I mean, most of the movies are made like in that way. You can't watch with your parents, with your whole family.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
Now only and there is no sense
Mhm.
any in that movie. Like
Mhm.
only sometimes they are like there are action movie,
Mhm.
and they act or like they are very acting overacting on that movie.
Mhm.
Like you can't feel real connection with that movie. And
Mhm.
yes, so the nowadays we can say
Mhm.
there is no a drama story kind of story like movie
Mhm.
are there. So like even now youngsters are enjoying this kind of movie, and
Mhm.
yeah, very few people they love to go watch in cinema hall or like that in theater.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
people don't, yes. And only we can say youngster always go for enjoying for their enjoyment only. They go with
Mm.
friends and they just want to fun and chill out over there.
Mm.
So that's when they go. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I watched the last movie, I think the Chava, and that was good. Like that was the movie, like admirable movie. Like you can't say that something is vulgar in that movie because it is based on the history of India. So and also the reality. So I think the Chava movie, which I watched last time, so that was the good movie. Mm. Have
Actually,
you?
watching a movie that is not bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because in movie they made the movie from take some story from real life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And put on some spices, and then they they made movie and they broadcast, and that is not bad. Like we should think, and sometimes we get admired after watching movie. So
Mm-hmm.
but there should be something reality, right? But nowadays people don't make that kind of movie. They just want to earn lots of money, so that's why they put lots of things that is not relevant, we can say,
Mm-hmm.
that is nothing related to our real life. story.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean the genre of different kinds of movie, but as you like the comedy movie, I also like comedy, but sometimes I also enjoy the action movie. Like in Chava, there are so many actions in that movie, like fights, battles. So I enjoyed.
One movie came a few months, I think, ago. That
Mm-hmm.
is Pushpa 2.
Yeah.
And every youngsters just wanted to watch that movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
when I just watched that promo. So
Mm-hmm.
I think what is the special in this movie? So people are so inclined to watch this movie. So
Mm-hmm.
I found like there is only action and
Mm-hmm.
nothing except that, and only story there is no story kind of movie, no drama, only action
Mm-hmm.
and song. So that's why youngsters were attracted to watch that movie only.
But I do not watch till yet. Not Puspa 1,
Also,
not Puspa 2. Hmm?
I heard from someone. I heard that story from my
Okay.
son, and I just watched
Okay.
promo. Yeah, then
Mm-hmm.
this is nothing to watch in that
Mm-hmm.
movie. That's
Okay.
why.
So are you a fan of Bollywood movies or Hollywood movies?
No, Bollywood and
Bollywood.
old movie, not
Okay. Recent one not.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Okay.
on that time there was some drama story, and we can resonate ourselves with that movie. That is the story, like whatever going in our day to day life, and like
Mm-hmm.
family movies. We can watch that movie with our family, right, for your sake of entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
and also we get lots of knowledge and motivation sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the different genre. So
Okay.
we enjoyed, yeah, that time. But now I don't enjoy this kind of movie.
Okay. So, like, what is the recent movie you watched in theater? Like, is there any movie you watched recently in theater?
Yes, yes. I watched that was one
Mm-hmm.
movie. It was kind of blockbuster, we can
Mm-hmm.
say. Kalki. No,
Kalki.
Kalki. Uh,
Okay.
Kalki was released that time. Then my sisters came with her family. Then
Mm-hmm.
we all went
Okay.
for
Mm-hmm. So, what is the genre of that movie? Like horror movie or anything? Like,
nothing. It was kind of story of future, what will
okay.
happen
Mhm.
in future, like Kalki, when Kalki will come. Like
Okay.
we all know na, the Kalki is about to born in the last of Kali, and
Mm-hmm.
that what will happen with this society, or how it society will look like on that
Mm-hmm.
time. So yeah,
Okay.
these are the story.
Okay. Futuristic kind of movie.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
what one of the movie that you watched ever, so that inspired you a lot?
I think, as I told you, I'm not big fan of movie, but yeah, I watched so many times. I mean, two, three times. That English. It's an old movie by Sri Devi, uh, who played the role. So I think she's inspired me a lot, and because in that movie, she wanted to learn this language, English language, and how she struggled. Like her family members did not admire her work, and her children did not want that she went school with them as a parent in a teacher meeting. So I think that movie inspired me a lot, and it is the one of my favorite movie, I can say.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I also watched that movie. Yes, I also found them like
Mm-hmm.
Sri, yeah, Sri Devi, played a very good role on that movie. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, she always feel like she always felt ashamed in front
Mm-hmm.
of like their family, when their husband and children, only
Mm-hmm.
due to lack of this communication, means
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she like didn't know how to speak English
Mm-hmm.
language. So yes, she struggled a lot in her life, but she never make them. She don't want to make others like his family, her family. Yes, that's why when she got a chance to
Mm-hmm.
learn this, then she learned, and
Mm-hmm.
no one knows, no one knew about her, like she want to learn this language, and she's learning. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was a surprise moment for everyone when she started speaking, right? Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I usually like those movies which have some lesson. I mean, in it we can learn something and we can also apply in our own life. So I usually watch those kind of movies also.
Yes, yes. Yes, me too. I also love to watch that kind of movie that
Mm.
makes you happy or that give you some, knowledge or
Mm.
uh, from that if you learn something, right?
Mhm.
That is good for us.
Okay, so are you a fan of reading? I mean, do you like reading?
Yes, I love to reading, but I love to read, novel kind of book,
Yeah.
right?
So which kind of novel? I mean, I am into fictional books. I mean, I like to read fictional books and characters about that characters. So what is your favorite?
Now, actually, earlier I started, reading Chetan
Mhm.
Bhagat book, but I didn't like find interest. Then
Oh.
this
Mm-hmm.
Chetan Bhagat book that was one night at call center. I think it was the book. Then when I read that book 2 or 3 pages, then I got bored, and then I left that book. And then after couple of days, then I ordered one book that is Sudha Murthy's book, and
Mm.
then yeah, that was 3,000 stitches. And
Okay.
when I was reading, then that books attracts my, you can say, attention, and
Mm-hmm.
then I started reading. And yes, I love just reading that kind of book. And then again, I order next book that is
Okay.
also
By written by Sudha Murthy ma'am.
right, right. So these kind
But
of books.
I think I enjoyed very much. I mean, books which is written by Chetan Bhagat. I mean, I find interest. That's why. Like I read one of the book which is I think recently I read that book is Revolution written by Chetan Bhagat. It's a kind of love story and little bit uh, how I say how society works and how human mind works. So the book is based on these kind of things. So I enjoyed reading. I mean, in the beginning, no one find interest, but I think I read almost 5 or 10 pages. After that, I feel like okay, it is interesting. It is something interesting because the characters are evolving and everything. So I think I find interesting, and that's why I read that book written by Chetan Bhagat. And you are the I think second or third person who is telling me that I like or I enjoy the reading to read books written by Sudha Murthy ma'am. So now I make my mind that after reading, I mean, right now I'm reading this book. After finishing this book, I will order books written by Sudha Murthy ma'am. I mean, I want to try it.
Yeah, you must enjoy that book.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, I also find very interesting because
Mm-hmm.
she wrote in very simple language, and it,
Mm-hmm.
everyone and also she wrote a story related to our society, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like ordinary people, we can say.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, so whenever read that book, then you feel some connection with that, and you can
Mm-hmm.
regulate your life as well. So that like gives you some interest, like you will get some interest from that, and then once you start reading, then you
Mm-hmm.
will never you will never leave that reading. So
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Okay, so are you a bookworm person or you develop the habit of reading? Because I develop the habit of reading gradually because I want to learn this language. I want to speak more fluently and I want to make my sentences in a structured form. So I think that's why I develop the habit of reading. So are you a bookworm person or you also develop the habit of reading?
No, actually, what I say, when
Mm,
I still have remember when I was child, like I
mm,
was a school going girl that time.
mm.
So I have still remember there were one library,
Okay. Mm.
my in my we can
Locality.
locality.
Mm-hmm.
Then I always very fond of reading book, like a kind of story book, or
Mm-hmm.
like according to because that time I was younger one, so I love to read story book, and slowly and gradually when I grown up, then I started reading novel and kind of
Okay.
like what magazines were
Mm-hmm.
there. So I used to read, but it was the Hindi medium that time.
Okay. I mean,
But
there is no problem. Like if you are from Hindi medium or English medium, if you like reading, you can read any book.
Right, right. But
Mm-hmm.
when I get married, then I had lots of responsibility to my
Mm-hmm.
home and children. So I was just forget my interest here. And
Mm-hmm.
now I am learning this language. Then again, when I find these kind of books, then
Mm-hmm.
I always try to read. And yes, I feel so happy and rejuvenated whenever I start reading something
Mm-hmm.
new that give me lots of immense happiness.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm glad that you restart your journey of reading because after getting married, like it is very impossible, not impossible, I can say. I mean, it is very, how I say, difficult to manage time, like for ourselves. Like apart from doing every household chores, and you have to manage your own interests, so it is very difficult.
That's why I told na, like I almost forgot. I was almost forgot. Like means I had reading habit, and I was a fond of reading book, but I
Mhm.
was just forgot that time. But now
Okay,
again I started reading. Then I feel so happy.
okay. So okay. So do you? Mhm.
It was really nice and interesting conversation with you. I enjoyed a lot. Okay,
Same here.
then
I also enjoyed.
yeah, we will meet again. Till
Definitely.
then, have a great day.
Bye bye. Have a nice day.